versus KPZ-70 tank and Peace Sentinel escorts and Peace Sentinel captain. Come on. Damn it! I was really hoping we wouldn't have to fight the tank here. Because fighting a tank here, there is going to be limited cover.
You can do it! They haven't seen you yet. Perfect. Now's your chance.
Buddy. Give me something here. How the hell are they even seeing me? Come on, supplies. Need those supplies. Fly, man. Go.
Request for support. They're sending out a cardboard box as we speak.
Perfect. Exactly what I needed.
Main cannon, ready to fire! There's momentum punch! Take base!
Oh, indestructible shipping crates. Yeah. How do you like that apple? Oh, did you miss me? Oh, boo frackety hoo. Just need to get down to the third line and that'll be alright.
So much for that tactic. You'll just have to attack the thing directly.
How is it moving without a fuel tank? Explode! Come on, Captain. Come on, Captain! I want to see a Captain. Give me a Captain.
Your request for a cardboard box. It'll be sent out shortly.
I'm kind of surprised the people fighting me never see that. Like I'm calling for supplies in the middle of the fight. Then punch me! Oh shit. Well, so much for indestructible shipping crates. How about indestructible piece of wood? Indestructible cover available.
Fire!
I sort of miss the good old days where all I need to do is, shite. Ugh, man, that stuff did not last long. There, now all I need to do is call another supply marker. And, I'm good to go.
They've okayed the request for support. Mission complete. Come on home.
We're good. We're good. So here we go again, another tank down and another one to keep going in the future. So we'll just have to score this one right here and right now. Gameplay. Well, we get another fight in this generic arena that we've seen probably about 5 times already. Let's see. Again, nothing's really changed. I mean, you're going to use the shed no matter what. You're going to be fighting the guards. Seriously, use the shed. It's right there. It's the perfect cover. And when I say perfect, I mean it's perfect for, you know, special occasions and whatever. But what the hell are you going to hide behind? You're fighting a freaking tank. And once again, escorts, kill them, you get to the captain. But in this case, I mean, there were a hell of a lot of escorts. I mean, these things were flying out of the frickin' pudding and coming up to rape my ass with their gunfire. So, you know, what the hell are you gonna do? I mean, you're gonna shoot them no matter what, because, again, this is more like a third-person shooter. You can still call it a stealth game for its Metal Gear predecessors. But, I mean, again, it's still a stealth game, but it's got those third-person elements that make it, like, that perfect conjunction between the two. Other than that, it's a tank. I mean, it's the same tank that you've seen 70 billion times already, and nothing's really changed. You get the same captain, you get the same escorts, you get the same run away from the tank. You know, that tank is not the really just a perfect example for fighting with that shed. That shed cover is not going to stand up to a lot of shells from that thing. So you're going to have to think pretty fast to get on your feet in order to stop this thing. But again, the escorts are too many, and you gotta damage the tank a lot before the captain actually shows up. But like every other captain, you shoot one rocket at it, down in a frickin' flash. So in that regard, I'm not gonna waste any more of your time because this generic just ain't worth it. 2 2/3 Triforces for this freaking repeated disaster of a concept for a Metal Gear game. Story. Blank boss. So, again, I'm probably just going to speculate a little more. We did discuss last time that this could be a disrupted training mission in order to practice escorting military vehicles around. We discussed that, you know, Coleman could be saying, hey, we need to keep this base under lockdown because it's important. But what else could it possibly serve? It could be a supply route, thus, same reasoning as before. You need to defend your supply routes in order to prevent them from being cut off. The soldiers might be actually gone rogue and decide that, hey, let's take out this tank, it's gonna be fun. And then Big Boss shows up because he was thinking the same thing, except he wanted to take it to Mother Base and didn't get that far before the soldiers came in to steal it. So, you know, I'm speculating. There's nothing really to this. There's no backstory. There's no implications. There's not a lot of goddamn anything. But the thing that you have to remember is that they're defending this thing with their lives. So, you know, there's got to be some military bearing around that. So they can't be going rogue unless they got their own organization. Because you can't be just dicking around and you're going to be like, oh, we're going to die for this tank because we want to steal it. You can't do that. It's not logical. Maybe they're robots and they're being programmed to do this. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now because I could come up with endless theories, probably ones involving aliens, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna waste your fucking time. 1/3 Triforces, just lowest score, except if it had literally no story. Like, if it was like, didn't exist as a thing. So, that's about it. Fun. Okay, like I've said for many times before, this is the same concept in the same frickin' place, except that this time, the tank that was previous before this actually occurred in a different location that supported the fight itself. That freaking train depot that had story bearing, and it was actually supportive of the fight because it had indestructible trains that were a weapon for the tank, but indestructible freaking cover for Big Boss, who could have been using it necessarily to avoid death in an instant while trying to gun down all the escorts because that's how the concept works. But this is the location that we've gotten used to, this base arena thing that has a shed over there and a bunch of piles of cover all over the frickin' place. And the cover is not ideal because it's not indestructible, and you're trying to avoid direct attack from a freaking cannon from over there. And every piece of cover is freaking destructible, which means that you are going to have to start doing some expert dodging in order to really get any use out of anything from this fight. And I suppose you could add that really makes the fight, you know, it's kind of more intense than just doing that lab thing where you hide in this shed for 90% of the fight and just say, whoop-de-flip-and-do, you can't get me. Or the bomber helicopter, where you could use indestructible roofs in order to stand under there and be all ho-ho-ho-ho. But shut up, douches. I'm trying to get to the frickin' point here and saying that the tank here is actually more above standard for what the fight has been so far, and I am freaking jaded of these fights. I mean, this is number 5, for freaking God's sakes. Why, Kojima? So many of these freaking things that have been programmed for no bloody reason. I mean, through my entire playthrough, I have never used these things. I just collected them because they were there. So, without further ado, I'm going to give a 4 Triforce score for this category because of that above standardness to complete crap. So, as you can probably tell, again, this is a live review. I'm getting really sick and tired of these goddamn vehicle matches because there's such a disconnect from what I expect from Kojima's team of designers. I mean, we've gone through 5 games of this stuff so far. Everyone has been great, or at least good in its own right, being above standard for usual video game, wherever the standard may be. I don't really know where the hell that would be. I think that Kojima's kind of spoiling me a little bit because, you know, this is above standard, so I've kind of set up my standards to an unreasonable degree for, like, let's just say for argument, Medal of Honor Airborne. I'm just coming off with the name off the top of my head. So, you know, maybe a unrealistic standard. Maybe my Ica review could have helped from some sort of perspective. I don't really know. But what I do know is that KPZ-70 tank got a 7 out of 30 for a final score because it did some things that were above standard for the concept that actually made it a little more fun to play through while being in a sea of complete garbage. This has been annoying. This has been a string of complete disappointments. And I really think, and I'm starting to think because I just remembered that somebody told me that this game was T-rated, so Kojima probably went from miles and yards of frickin' strides in the design document just to make sure that it would get that T rating. And why do you want a T rating at this point? It's frickin' Peace Walker. It's a chapter to the big boss canon that really does not do much of anything objectively. It doesn't further any plot points. It's just an explanatory moment 10 years after the fact. This is Peace Walker. Do you really want your T-rated thing to be so freaking important to your 7th iteration? It's probably not 7th, I'm just coming up with a number. Really? Well, apparently so. So, that just leaves us as a result of fighting constant robots instead of people. Because you can't shoot people all the time, or else you get the M rating. Well, I'm going to stop myself from waffling at this point. I hope you did enjoy this live review as I try to stem my own disappointment and not gnaw off my fingers while I'm trying to type these generic-ass scripts. I really hope you enjoy these videos because I do this out of my own time and loving affection for the freaking video game community. I really do love Metal Gear Solid, which is why I have to critique it, as you know. As many critics have probably told you before, because if you're watching this, you're probably a fan of other critics. Some more of those popular critics who aren't me. Let's face it. But also, let's face this. I'll give you a nice victory for gamers. I love giving you a victory for gamers. I think that gamers should be victorious, and that's why I always say that. Thank you for watching. You make this important, and I love each and every one of you, because you're all great.